want to show this to you guys, and this is why it's so upsetting to me with what they charge for these vehicles. And you go into adjust your steering wheel, get ready. How cheap is that? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode we are reviewing a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4x4. Let's go into that video. Thank you again for being here. For new people here watching for the first time, make sure you subscribe and like. Actually, everyone should do that. We appreciate that so much. It's what we do. And we're in Phoenix, so let's get into this episode. Here's a 2024 Grand Cherokee 4x4. Kind of a mid-level model versus like really going overboard with a lot of options and stuff. Let me tell you, I do like the design here, the tinted windows. It's not a bad looking truck at all. So let me come around here. So silver with the black rims, it actually works. I'm not a big silver guy when it comes to vehicles. Silver is one of the hardest colors to match. This one too, if I come up here, no sunroof. I just have a hard time buying vehicles without a sunroof. You know, in a truck especially, to have a sunroof is like one of the best things. And if I come around here, sporty looking grille, black again. So this is like black and silver, and I like the color combination if I were to buy one. So one good thing about these vehicles, these Grand Cherokees, we owned the previous generation, they tow really well. They really do. Here, just another look from the other side. Like the rims. Come around here. Here's the back of the vehicle. Let's see. We got a power lift gate. And this isn't bad at all back here. This seems higher quality than normal right here. And these third row seats are folded down. They come up and down very easily. You've got a light here. You don't have a dome light in the roof of the vehicle here. I say that's a mistake. So with your, this is a 3-row seat model. With your third row seat down, you've got respectable rear area cargo space. I feel, though, comparing to like a 4Runner 5th gen, it's got a better rear cargo area. Just on your perception level, with the 4Runner, it just seems a bit more open. Of course, a lot of manufacturers are making the rear of their new trucks more narrow for aerodynamic purposes, and it creates a packaging issue for all manufacturers to have a usable rear cargo space. The big thing here, though, is this is why, like on the Sequoia and new 4Runner, it's kind of pinched off in the back. And let me see, so I'm doing some of this for the first time. Let's see where the, it's got here really small lights, which I think could be bigger like on the 5th gen, if you think about it, especially for women or just people in parking garages. Now I do see this being great on the beach, like Daytona Beach. You can drive your vehicles on the beach. You could sit back here comfortably on the beach, which I think is important. And the other miss is there's no speakers in here. They need to have speakers here. And maybe that's an upgrade option. Just observation points. I'm putting this against, you know, this is the last year for the 5th gen 4Runner, kind of comparing it with the 4Runner because it's going away. And what did this truck do better than the 4Runner in terms of package and design? Obviously the 4Runner is going to be more capable than this off-road, this version of the truck. Jeep likes to have you think that you can take these vehicles off-road, you know, and I guess you can. I'm just saying that for a family, so far this does not seem like a bad deal. Here, this design element is not so bad. Here we have gap issues. This is lower than this. It lines up better here. I just can't say this is built with the same level of gap tolerance the 4Runner is, and you can see more of it here where it's crooked and out of the way. The silver and black work really well. I think the only miss so far I have found are the very small rear tailgate lights and no dome light in the truck, and maybe that's on other models if you pay more. My overall reaction to this is looks good, not so bad to drive around. We're going to do more of that in the video. There it goes. So that button's in the right location. You can see some of that pinched rear end like on the Sequoia right here. You know, they're forced to do it for fuel economy. You can see the wraparound curve and it starts to come in. Jeep actually did a really good job of hiding that when you look at the vehicle in a general sense. Now here on this side, just off a little bit here, really wide here, gets a little bit narrower right here. Right here, this is lower than this one. Really wide right here, and it gets a bit narrower as you go down. And here's my point I've been trying to make. They overproduce these. They could slow down production to get quality right and be better off financially in the long run. This is the version of the truck that had collapsing front suspensions when it was introduced, and I think they recalled 520,000 of these. Not heavy duty like the 4Runner that has 6 lug nuts here. This has only got 5. But again, it'll tow really nice, 6,000 pounds, no problem with the V6 engine under the hood. So let's drive this a bit. All right, let's look at the engine on this 2024 Grand Cherokee. Nice interior. My interior review coming up. So here, to open the hood, it's actually a very quality open of the hood. The hood open is better than the 4Runner. The tactile feel of that hood release. And I'm just saying, okay, I'm honest, I'm not a fake expert. So that hood release actually is kind of nice. You reach your fingers under here, and let's see, there it is to the left. All right, here's our Fiat V6. Again, if you want a grocery getter, this is the vehicle. You got a grocery getter and kids, or you're driving to work a lot, or you're on the road a lot, this would be a great vehicle option to put, you know, a ton of miles on and get rid of it after a 3-year lease. The problem I have with this motor, obviously, is the left cylinder bank on these Fiat V6s. Our understanding, and I've seen videos complaining about it, you'll have issues with the left bank cylinder head eventually. And, you know, crossing fingers, Chrysler addressed it. I'm just saying, you know, this would be great to lease. To buy it, you could keep it a long time. I just worry about this Fiat V6 having issues, expensive issues, as you go along. I would rather have the same motor built in the US versus Italy, maybe with tougher cylinder heads on it. Again, you know, these financial bean counters at the big three, and sometimes Toyota now too, and Honda, they want to go with cheaper parts, cheaper materials to make the most money possible. But no one stops and goes, you know, this could result in a multi-million-dollar recall. Let's stick with a tougher component. And they don't. In terms of being able to work on this motor, it uses the same oil as the 4Runner, OW20. It's hard to get to a few things, I think. It just doesn't yell quality to me. I mean, it looks all right to me, but when you look at the front of a 4.0 liter 4Runner V6, it just seems a bit more high quality. It's like a plate of food. So this is okay. I just think, you know, the Toyota stuff is better, gives you a better feel when you open the hood. We're gonna get in this now and drive it a bit. See that? A nice solid thunk. You know, it doesn't sound as good when you close the hood on a Toyota. So whatever they did to make that sound so good, good for them. You often get a metal sound or something else on a lot of other vehicles. And again, you know, I want to say the silver and black combination on this Grand Cherokee, this looks good. Very well done to have this on the door with a black American flag. Comment I want to make here is that, you know, if you look at a lot of GM vehicles and some newer vehicles like the Sequoia, they really struggle with where to put this stuff on their vehicles. Right here. On this, let me close the door. Let's hear the thunk. Not so bad. I think the door closure on the 4Runner is better. You know, Toyota would do something screwy like put it here. And, you know, GM, with the way their fenders are designed and their hoods are designed, it looks goofy to have it here. Here, though, really well done from a design perspective. I do think, though, they need to work on their tolerances and their build quality, because that's important, you know, because if you park this next to a Lexus or a Toyota, it doesn't have the same gap tolerances. And if people are shopping like they should be cross brands, I look at gap tolerances all the time. All right, let's get in this. Coming around here. So general impressions of the interior. It's only power on this side. I had said in the video that, you know, this would be the one if you were going to buy it or lease it at a half decent lease price. This is the one a lot of people would get, because, you know, you're going to turn it in. You know, if I was in a traveling type of job, I would consider this like for a 3 or 4 year lease, just to dump a bunch of miles on it and give it back. Have no regrets. So here, this is kind of nice. It doesn't feel as good as a Toyota or Lexus, that switchgear does. You know, you can adjust your mirrors with this. This is pretty much standard fare. And again, these don't feel like they do in a Toyota product. And I'm not being mean, I'm being honest. Here's this. It's got auto 4-wheel drive on right now. Let's see, here's the interior, kind of a more of a cockpit feel, right, with everything sloped. And this slopes down. So I will say this interior looks better than the previous generation Grand Cherokee interior. And here you've got, you know, this is not so bad here. And this kind of feels weak. But overall, it looks better than the previous generation Grand Cherokee. Again, we owned one, or leased it for 3 years. Let's get in here now. Now the steering wheel does feel great. This steering wheel feels great. And it looks good with the Jeep here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, so I'm just gonna get in here. I've got the key fob in my pocket. All right, coming in here. Put my foot on the brake and hit the start button. Oh, let's turn that down. So this kind of slopes down, but the hood comes up. I don't think people mind that. I do, just in a way. I understand why they slope this down to make it more airy here, or more open, but that hood rises up in front of you. Okay, and here the shifter is just this dial that you turn for reverse, neutral, and drive. And that works well enough. Just got my phone plugged in here. It's got the 12 volt DC. You've got your driver assist options up here. You can turn on sport, which I'll do. Here's auto. Here's what happens when I turn on sport. It goes from auto to sport mode. Okay, and I'll just leave it on. It says here there's 379 miles of range left. You've got a tach, the speedometer. Now one thing I want to mention is, you know, all these manufacturers, like on the 6th Gen 4Runner, they are going to, you might hear the AC blowing, they're going to these electronic displays. I get that, but they're cheaper to make than having true gauges here. I look forward to the day that true gauges come back, and this truck right now has got 1,152 miles on it. A nice sweeping dashboard. I've got Waze going. Let's take this for a drive. I'm gonna back out and get on the main road, come back. The seats are okay. Actually, these seats are more comfortable than my 4Runner seats by about 23%. And here you've got, you know, here's your, like a good view of a cubby hole in the passenger side door. This Jeep doesn't have a power seat. It's got the old-fashioned lift bar. And again, no dome light, knucklehead, and no sunroof, which, you know, if I was gonna buy this or lease it, I'd have to have a sunroof. That's just me. You guys might feel different about that. Again, this display is nice. Let me go to home on that. Here's home right here. And it goes immediately goes back to FM radio. And here you press this, it goes to the Waze off my phone. And this is to adjust your temperature, your AC. You can slide bar it here like that. Okay, so I see this, you know, in a general sense between this and this for what's out there on the market. Is it perfect? No, but is it very well done? Yes. Is it intuitive or simple to use for like your general driver or someone who just needs a vehicle to do general things around where they live? Absolutely. It all boils down to, though, if you're leasing or buying. Either way, I do know based on our previous generation Grand Cherokee that it's a good tow vehicle. Actually, it tows really nice. And I gotta be honest, it tows better than the 4Runner. And this is not making me a Jeep fan. Here you've got your settings for your defroster, airflow through the vents or down. Here I'm gonna hit auto again because I am in Arizona. So you're gonna hear some fan noise. So overall, another thing too, these mirrors are small, I think they could be a bit larger. You can see this one here and that one there, and I'm parked right now. You know, they work fine, but they could be a bit bigger. And here's your upper console for like your SOS call, things like that, opening the rear tailgate, a couple other options. Kind of mimicking the 4Runner with this up here. It's kind of nice to put some stuff up here though, because it just makes the driving compartment a bit more ambient at night and look a little bit cooler. And here, you know, you've got your mirrors. This one's got mirrors on both sides. My biggest knocks on this interior, it doesn't have, I don't know how Toyota, for example, or Honda, they beat everybody on the fill of the plastics used in the truck. Now the interior doesn't have gap problem, the exterior has. This here, you can see here, the driver looks at this gap here. Can you see that? And the passenger looks at a gap too. They need to close that. Let's floor it. I have it in sport mode from a 40-mile-an-hour roll. Okay, the motor's making a lot of noise, and that was, we got up to about 66, 67 miles an hour with that.
In 0.1 miles, turn right.
Okay, I just hit the turn signal to turn right, and the switchgear does feel good. You hear Waze talking in the background. Handling seems okay to me, and you can hear that motor again just doing an acceleration from the turn. So the switchgear feels better than the previous Cherokee. It doesn't feel as good as Toyota switchgear. Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate the turning radius right now. I'm in Arizona, so I'm doing a Texas U-turn. Okay, and we go here. Okay, it's got a good turning radius. Driving this, the brakes are very top heavy, so I hit the brake here and they grab right away. But if you press too hard on that brake pedal, it's going to alert you back.
Second time's a charm, I guess.
Thank you, Nick Jonas. And this is just another quick look at the maneuverability, which is good. The ride is good, not excellent. And the motor noise, I think, is a bit intrusive. It's a little bit too loud. It's not the best sounding V6 there is. And here, I'll do the brakes again, just to show you guys how they grab. Very top heavy. Here we go. Right there. There's, within that band of stopping the vehicle, look at the band like this. If you press hard around the middle of that band, they really grab forcefully. So if you do get a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee, get used to the brakes on this. And here's an old Camino here. You guys know I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and cars do not rust. I'll be an honest broker. If I see a 2003 Acura CL Coupe Type S with a 6-speed for sale, I'm buying it. It's gonna happen. If I see it. I would love that. It's one of the best cars ever made. Okay, so we're back, and just overall driving impressions though, on a scale of 1 to 4, I give it a 3.2 so far. And here's some acceleration. Sounds fast or really fast, but it's not really fast. I think, you know, people will get in it, hit the gas, and hear the noise of the motor and think they're going faster than they are, type of thing. Okay, so nice cruiser though. I could see people leasing this for just a couple years and beating the crap out of it and giving it back and letting somebody else deal with the V6 engine repairs or the transmission repairs, which is a lifetime automatic transmission. You have to break the seal to do the fluid, and they say it's a lifetime transmission, which is impossible. I hate these lifetime 8 and 10 speed automatic transmissions. Nothing lasts forever, and you know, keeping it impossible to change your fluid and then changing an arm and a leg like $1,000 or more, or $800 to $1,200 to break the seal at the dealer and do an automatic trans fluid change for you. People don't want to do that. We didn't want to pay that on our Grand Cherokee, the previous generation one. And you know, it's just one of those deals. I mean, they put their development dollars into a forever transmission, which is a lie, instead of putting that money in other places, like maybe gap tolerances or something else at the vehicle. Add a light, and a lot of outside noise is coming into the vehicle. Obviously, my 5th gen 4Runner is actually quieter and feels more like a bank vault. I can't say this feels like a bank vault, but the interior is nice. Is the interior excellent? I'm not going to give it that score. On a scale of 1 to 3, I give the interior a 3. I think improvements can be made with the gaps around the display and with maybe better materials. They should ram this thing. And by ram, I mean what they did to the Ram pickup trucks to give them best-in-class interiors. Okay, so here we are. Let me take it up to highway speeds. Okay, so roughly 60 miles an hour here. Got some road noise coming in. You've got good visibility for your turn into this lane or move into this lane. And you know, again, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. You know, it's nice. The speed limit here is 50. I'm doing 52 right now. So again, you know, if it's something you're going to lease and get rid of in 3 or 4 years, it's okay. It's probably the perfect. If it's something you're going to lease for just 3 or 4 years and turn it back in, it's probably one of the better vehicles out there to do so with. You know, it's versatile. It'll last 3 or 4 years before bigger problems set in with the transmission and powertrain. You know, again, there was that huge recall on this vehicle for collapsing front suspensions. You know, that doesn't make me want to buy any Jeep product. But if you did go Jeep and get a Grand Cherokee and leased it, not bought it, you'd be okay with this model. You know, I think the fuel economy numbers for this are decent too. If you can see this, for our road test, we averaged 20.2 miles to the gallon in all types of driving, in both sport and auto mode. Overall, I kind of like it. Now, is this for me? No. But I know the female segment of the market really likes this Grand Cherokee. They get in it and drive it. They think it feels peppy. Does handle good. The sound system's all right. I like the sound system better in the 4Runner. And I'm using the 4Runner as a baseline, guys, for this review of a 2024 Grand Cherokee. I like to, when I review vehicles, to have a baseline vehicle to have it go against. And again, you know, our ORP with the stock suspension rides way better, lets in less outside noise. I'm rolling over these bumps and hearing every one of them. And I think, you know, with what they charge for vehicles, it should be quieter in here. They could just lay down an extra level of insulation. The old Chrysler used to do that. The Stellantis Chrysler doesn't do that. They want every ounce of their invested money back from this company. And when Stellantis gets rid of Chrysler and leaves it in shambles, you know, they'll do it when they get their money back out of their investment. So it's sad, you know, that this has happened to a once great company, Chrysler, dropping all their V8 engines, V8 muscle cars, which would have continued to make money for them and their bottom line. And again, you know, I have worked at some of these top automotive companies. You know, it's BS when they say, oh, this engine can't meet emissions, or because of regulations, we're going to drop this great motor. They can do a software tune. There's things you can do to keep an engine compliant. Add an extra catalytic converter. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, but again, making decisions in the moment, because we have an opportunity, at least in North America, for a new president every 4 years. And each president has their own environmental regulations. It's kind of not thinking strategically, long-term, or tactically. I hope to gosh they save the tooling for their muscle cars. They could reopen an old factory making them at a lower volume and employ some people. Another great idea here, because no one's buying electric cars. So now, just, you know, taking your foot off the gas, roughly 50 miles an hour, it's okay. I mean, I'm comfortable. It's okay. And I'm comfortable driving this. I could live with this. We are consumer advocates here at On Down the Road Productions, which is why we buy Toyota products right now. I can't wait for the day I can sit in a competing product to Toyota and just brag about the quality. Other companies can do it. If Toyota can do it, you can do it. The Japanese adopted Deming in the 50s. rescued their auto industry, throwing them out the door, making them as fast as you can, trying to make a quick buck, dealing with recalls. I can't wait for those days to stop happening fully. So I think overall driving this, it's okay. Hey, listen, we've got a trailer, we tow motorcycles. If I was going to lease something to tow our trailer or tow motorcycles, this would be on the list, definitely. We give the backup camera really high marks. It's really well done, really super nice in the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Just want to show you guys very good resolution as I back up here, and you can see it turns if I turn, and I'm just backing in here in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay folks, we're going to wrap up this episode on the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee behind me. So very grabby brakes, and I thought more about that, and a lot of people play with their cell phones in traffic, and I get the grabby brakes. That's a good thing. I just want to make you guys aware of that, so when you drive one of these, those brakes are super grabby, which I guess if you're playing with your cell phone in your vehicle and could hit a motorcycle rider or another vehicle, that's a good thing. And you can hear a jet from Phoenix Airport behind me. So nice truck, nice truck. Quality level not as good as the Toyota product, being honest. The Grand Cherokee's come a long way. Regrettably, they found it a way to make it cheaper to produce than the previous Grand Cherokee, which we own. So I guess if you really had to have a Grand Cherokee, look for the previous generation, a super clean one. And I got a truck going by. There goes the truck. And a lot of noise comes into the cabin. You should just leave this truck in auto mode. Don't use sport. Sport mode just makes it shift quicker and makes the motor more snarly. And it's fast enough in auto mode. Pretty much like a Goldwing in tour mode versus sport. And now we got a motorcycle going by us. So if you're looking for a truck to lease in 2024 and can get a good lease payment on it, dingle back. All right, there it goes. You guessed it. I'm at Scottsdale, Arizona, Harley Davidson. Haven't been here in 8 or 9 years. I like the dealership though. Guys, thank you for watching. If you're new here, these are the types of videos we do. We review autos, motorcycles, talk about the ones we own in our fleet, and it's summer 2024. We're excited. Thank you for all you do to help us grow and be a part of our platform. Leave me some comments with your thoughts, especially if you own a 2024 Grand Cherokee. Let us know if you agree with me. That's really it. I would pick this so near the top of the list as a lease vehicle, especially if I had a midweight, lightweight trailer and used it for more than just grocery getting. And I think if you're like a salesman or something and need something to lease and drive long distances, this would be a good candidate, except for the road noise that comes in through the cabin. The sound system's okay, sounds good to me. I think I like ours better in our 4Runner, but that's no bias in that. It's got a good sound system, and even though the center screen seems small, it's more than sufficient. I like it. CarPlay worked great on it. Okay guys, we'll see you next episode. Thank you for watching this one from Phoenix, Arizona. And everyone, do your best. Have empathy for other people. Don't prejudge anyone. And thank you for being here with us. We care about you and we think of you.